Shout out to Cats Pod.
1 second. A big defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. Damn, Eric, we are moving up in the world. Ben Christian's here of the Cats Pod, joined by my co-host, as always, Eric Lover.
How's it going today?
It's going pretty good. I feel like we're actually official now. Like, we're talking into actual microphones.
Yeah, this is
Not-
pretty cool.
Not ones that I got off of an Instagram at like 2 o'clock in the morning, you know? And then we had our sick intro music at the beginning of this. We're just moving up in the world.
Things are getting pretty crazy, man. Let's be honest here.
We're an official podcast,
Yes.
dude. This is like a real thing now.
Yeah.
Now we just need to find more listeners, you know? We need to figure out a way that we can get people to actually listen to this more often, you know? Well, first off, I think we want to actually just thank the PawdCats out there and the people who have been listening, because we thought that after the season ended for the Bobcats that we were going to just tank our listens. We thought we were going to be down to like 20. And we're hanging up there with a lot of our episodes, still keeping a pretty consistent amount of listens. And it's dropped a little bit, which is to be expected. But thank you to everybody out there just for tuning in.
Oh, yeah, big time, man. And I know from personal experience, my whole, I'm a big Phillies fan, and I listen to a lot of Phillies podcasts. Well, after then LCS, I haven't listened to those Phillies podcasts.
It dries up until like free agency starts or something
pretty
like
much.
that.
I don't even listen
Hot
through
stove
free
season
agency.
or whatever they talk. What is it? Why do they have so many weird terms in baseball?
It's just a sport. I feel like to stay relevant, they just come up with something new.
We're just gonna start
We're
making
just-
stuff up.
Yeah, we're going to
Once a
measure
week.
a stat, and we're going to call it wins above replacement.
Yeah, I mean, that is a stat that matters. That's how I pick my fantasy football teams, which I am currently fighting for 11th place out of 12. So I guess I probably shouldn't use wins over replacement or any actual stats, because I really don't know anything. So it doesn't really change anything either way.
Yeah. No, I think I'm definitely surprised we've maintained the listens that we have. Yeah, so basically big thanks to everybody, and it's the new year, man.
It's a new year. New year, new us, right?
Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. I hope we can make some good changes for ourselves, and you got any New Year's resolutions?
I mean, I've been trying to think of some podcast-related resolutions that we could come up with, and I don't know. We've been talking about a series that we wanted to start. Should we drop that now?
I think so.
Should we
Yeah.
put it on
Let's-
recorded so that we actually have to do it? Something to hold us accountable.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, tell everybody what we're going to do.
So we're looking to do a series on the history of the Brawl of the Wild. I looked up a couple books, and I just kind of realized, thinking about it, that I don't know anything about the rivalry basically before the 90s.
No, I agree. I mean, you hear stories. Of course, there's the national championships there's back there, but other than that, you really don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, really nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't hear a whole lot of stories about back then, especially when you start thinking this has been a rivalry for
Since 1894.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that
It's been
is
a long
a
time.
ton of games. So we kind of need to we need to just learn a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, just kind of doing some research to make our show better and kind of know more about the history of the rivalry and the history of the Bobcats and the Grizzlies as well. And
Boo.
boo. The title I'm thinking about right now is Brawling with History, but I don't know. We might be able to come up with something better before we come out with an episode.
It's not bad.
But it's
not
a
bad.
good first draft. It's a good first draft for sure. We're going to be looking to probably do a 5-part series on this. We're going to look to split the history of it basically into 20-year segments, and we're both going to be doing some serious reading and some actual research for this. So we're trying to make it more of a professional production than our normal rambling. But I'm sure there will be some of our normal rambling that you guys have come to know and love.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a big thing that I kind of want us to do for the new year, and just kind of move on to the next step of whatever this is. And we need something that people want to listen to in the off season.
Yeah. I mean, I know we're all excited for 2024 Bobcat football, and it's shaping up to be a pretty darn good team. I mean, seems like a good segue into the transfer portal. I mean, there's been a few rumblings here and there. You know, it looks like everybody who left the Cats has found a new home,
which is good to see.
Yeah,
we do love to see that.
Aside from one, but
yeah,
you know,
it's been tough.
All the big dogs signed with FBS schools. That's always
all the big dogs are out there eating.
Yeah,
you know, they're all getting it done.
I don't think we talked about this last episode, did we?
No.
Yeah. So Rush Reimer signed with Cal.
Yep.
Omar signed with Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
Seabass to Washington, and Kettles headed to Kennesaw State.
Yep.
So
and there was
all really cool programs that got really, really top-notch talent, I think.
Oh, yeah. And there was some articles that came out. They did some interviews kind of talking about the different reasons that everybody transferred. And it was nice to see that the other podcasts of the world that are talking about how this is a terrible money-grubbing thing that all these players are doing kind of they have to eat their words a little bit when they hear these statements from the players, because not a single one put money as a major factor.
I mean, of course, money helps with everything. It helps everybody. That's a fact.
Yep.
But, I mean, you start looking at, Omar goes to Baylor. Well, that happens to be just a hop, skip, and a jump from his hometown. He's I think didn't I see something about his mom had never made a game, and he was excited for that to happen or something like that.
I think his mom had only seen like 2 games that he'd played in since, like, throughout high school and everything, it seemed like. So
and now he's going to be home and close.
So she's going to be able to, I think they said it was a 3-hour drive from what is it? Katy, Texas? Texas, yeah. From Katy, Texas over to Baylor. And so that's awesome that he's going to get to play in front of his mom, and like family and stuff is going to be able to come to more of the games. That is completely understandable.
Yeah.
What is not understandable
is
Mr. Rush Reimer. Come on, we got to give you a little bit of the guff, because this entire time he also is going back home. He's it seems like, or closer to home, a place that he considers home since he went to high school in California. But just talking about the weather, like, come on, the Cats are strong. The Cats are strong. We are built tough.
Yeah.
We are cold forged steel.
Exactly.
All right, cold forged steel. And when you're just coming in here and you're talking about how it's -20 and that's not fun for you, like, I'm gonna have to give you just a little bit of the guff.
Yeah, come on, Rush. I'm out there feeding cows when it's 40 below. I don't want to hear it. And to top it off, not only doesn't he not like the weather, he snubbed my college, Iowa State.
Yeah, so I wanted you twice over.
I just wanted to root for him. I mean, could you imagine how I would be so jacked if he would have gone to Iowa State?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that would have been awesome.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome. But regardless, stoked for him to be back home, back at his, his where he wanted to. He wanted to go to Cal all along. He got the chance and he took it. I don't blame him one bit.
And he's a guy that also went through and he did fully graduate from MSU, and he gave everything to the school. So we're not hating on him too much, but also just come on, the weather, man. We're gonna complain about the weather. We're talking about the weather, okay? Not the game. We're talking about weather.
No, it's. I'm glad to see all these guys get their spots figured out and where they're going to spend the next few years, and hopefully, we'll be watching them in the future. I mean, it does seem like a lot of our players seem to end up at Cal.
Yeah, and the whole reconferencing stuff is going to make that season very interesting for them, because Cal is somehow part of the ACC, which, remind me what ACC stands for. Doesn't it stand for Atlantic Coast Conference?
Yeah.
Didn't they kind of mix up the oceans on this one? They're an entire ocean off.
I mean, you consider the teams in the ACC. You have Florida State, Clemson, all those schools that are way over there. Duke, North Carolina are in the ACC, I think, aren't they?
Yep. Every single time that they play a football game, it's like Syracuse, different schools like that. Those are all the ACC. They're going to have to travel a significant amount every single time.
I mean, But let's be honest here. If I never had to go to class and just got to go play, do what I love, I'd be all about it too. Because there's going to be some serious travel time involved in this.
Oh yeah,
Serious travel time.
it would be really hard to keep up with your schoolwork when you're traveling that much. And these schools must be taking that into consideration. But that is something that I would not be looking forward to at all. I do not enjoy long plane rides as a large gentleman. As a guy who is about the size of some of these linemen, I would hate it. I hope that they have a very nice jet for Cal so that Mr. Rushreimer can stretch his legs out.
No kidding. Yeah, he's yeah, all those plane rides, long ones too. You definitely hope they're going to keep them comfortable because that's going to be a lot of miles.
Yeah, that would definitely be hard to put up with.
The one I think we should probably touch on a little bit is this transfer to Missoula.
Ooh,
this is
a sore subject.
Ben and I we'll die on that sword of respecting people's decisions to transfer, but this is not one I like.
Yeah, when commits flip and stuff like that, it always leaves kind of a bad taste in your mouth. And especially with how heated the rivalry has been the last few years with blowout after blowout kind of going back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, you can say, going back home, but Phillipsburg is not that far from Bozeman either.
No.
I mean, it's just...
it's pretty similar, and it's got to be hard for kids to choose these days with how it seems like the matchup is more even than ever before.
But Missoula...
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go hang out with Bobby Houck. That's the only thing.
Ew.
Like, I would rather hang out with Brett Vegan than hang out with Bobby Houck.
Well, if you imagine this. You do something spectacular on the football field, and your head coach runs out to congratulate you and accidentally pokes you in the eye with his nose. Imagine that.
And you're still 4 feet away from him.
With his big vulture nose.
Yeah. That, I mean, I've heard he's henpecked a couple of the players.
Accidental, of course.
Accidentally. We're not having a Bobby Knight situation. I almost called him Phil Knight. That's the shoe guy. Come on. Quit mixing up your references.
But no, he's going to Missoula, and I mean, at best, what do you call that? Lateral, maybe?
Yeah, it's a pretty lateral move. I don't know if it might have been a position decision, just based on I don't know how much depth Missoula has at his spot, but no, he was a wide receiver, right?
No,
Kate
DB.
Cutler? DB.
DB.
Okay. Yeah. So who knows why you make that decision? Obviously, it's a very personal decision, so you're never going to fully know what it was. But overall, we want players to stay with the Bobcats, and it's weird to see these transfers because we've been seeing it the opposite direction for the last couple of years. We've seen a lot of Missoula guys that are coming to the Bobcats, and the Bobcats have been picking up steam, and this might be kind of like the canary in the coal mine of we need to figure out something, because if we lose these top Montana recruits, that is the basis of what makes the locker room great.
Yeah.
And that's the basis of all this cat culture that we've been talking about, and those are the people that are most likely going to stick around the entire time.
Yeah.
You're not as likely to transfer if you're an in-state guy. It's probably going to happen at some point, but those guys are really the backbone of our recruiting as a whole. And it's always more important for us to see those Montana guys out there because it makes it more entertaining for us.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it has been a roller coaster with the transfer portal, lost some, got some, it's been an interesting topic to talk about. And, just today, Samora Ezekiel from Texas, a big offensive lineman, 3 stars, coming to our Bobcats. I mean, that's a big deal. Another stud offensive lineman joining the Don Joy Mafia.
Yep.
Let's go.
They are really stacking it up. They really tend to stack up that offensive line, and they're going to make sure that they are deep at every position.
100%. And I feel like this guy's just going to be able to meld right in with this group of guys. Basically just end up being an immediate impact kind of guy.
Yeah.
Just because of the coaching and the people that are actually on the offensive line. Yeah. I mean, Justice Perkins, Marcus Weir, Connor Moore, You have JT Reed, all right there, all studs.
Yep.
I mean, how can you not just fit right in immediately?
Do you think that is the most fun position room?
I mean, there's personalities on there, and I'd share.
Like, if I could be a fly on the wall during one of their meetings, like if we could have Hard Knocks Montana State, but only we get to watch it. We don't want to let the secrets out. We just want Hard Knocks Montana State to just be sent to us too personally.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we just want to be a fly on the wall and watch what goes on in that position room, because I guarantee there's a lot of laughter.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee it is a great time. There's some funny dudes in there and some great personalities. Running backs might be close behind, because I feel like there's a couple personalities there, but also there's a lot of guys that seem like they're businessmen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They're businessmen. It doesn't seem like they talk a whole lot, which is also a good personality. You need that balance on a football team, but it's not as fun for us to watch as a fly on the wall. You know? It's not as exciting for us.
Yeah. And honestly, even through this whole transfer portal, it's been interesting to see the guy, you get on Twitter and you start scrolling and you see, got extended an offer from Montana State. Like, the coaching staff is out there working. Mm-hmm. They're really working.
They're going for it this year.
Yeah.
They're definitely not taking the losses we took towards the end of the year lightly.
Oh, no.
Even though overall it was a pretty amazing season for us, outside of, like we've talked about, 3 plays before. I feel like I keep repeating myself there. But they definitely took it personally, and they are looking to make this team much, much better going into the future.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, I mean, perfect time to start talking about a bit of the, some new changes to the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jody Owens. I feel like everybody probably knows who that is. Mm-hmm. Coming back. Going to be coaching the safeties.
Yeah, big time dude. Great to have as a part of the coaching staff. Great to keep those alumni in the building. I think professionally, college-wise, we've seen how important it is to bring in those guys that know the game and know specifically the team super well. I think it's really important to bring them in, because it's a 2012 Big Sky Defensive Player of the Year type of guy.
Yeah.
He
was a absolute stud when he played. And then, honestly, had a pretty nice little coaching career before he came to the Cats.
Yeah, he's definitely he's been a lot of places, it seems like, all over the last few years. And judging by our conversation with Marcus, I think that's pretty typical.
Yeah.
Like, you as a coach, you tend to bounce around quite a bit until you find a home.
Right.
And even when you find that home, that's usually a good place for you to develop in order for you to move forward with your career and get bigger jobs.
Yeah, I think with the guys we have in that safety room, not to mention everybody else on defense and the kind of new staff that we got going on there, I think this is a big deal. Like, this guy knows football, and he knows how to be an absolute terror on defense.
Yep.
And I feel like when you've proved that you can do it, it makes it easier to coach it.
Yep. I keep thinking about teams like the Detroit Lions, where they brought in a lot of ex-players and stuff, and they put all those guys on their coaching staff. And I believe a majority of their coaching staff is all NFL players.
Yeah.
And so when you can bring those guys in from your college, those alumni guys, it's always going to give them an extra understanding of the game that maybe a coach doesn't quite have sometimes.
Yeah, the rebuilding since 1957 Detroit Lions are no longer rebuilding.
Exactly. The new look, powerful Detroit Lions.
Which pains me to say as a Vikings fan.
Is it that painful? Do we need to check the score on the Vikings game right now? Because we are recording during the Vikings game.
I don't care. It's at this point, we're playing for a draft pick, I think. We've started 4 different quarterbacks. Yeah, we don't need to get into that. It's just, I mean, no need to dredge this up.
No
this
need
is
to
ugly.
talk about the Vikings.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's I'm super pumped to see this hire, and I think that everybody should be super pumped to see this hire. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to make a pretty big impact and have. I think he's going to be a pretty big reason for some this sustained success on defense.
And it seems like kind of the secondary, there was spurts where the secondary was amazing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there was also times where the consistency might have been lacking.
Yeah.
I might say consistency, and it's not really on those players because it is an entire team effort on
Right.
the defensive side. If somebody screws up their coverages or their spots on the line and all those coverages go wrong, then they're falling back on the secondary and they have to be like that last line of defense. So they get put into bad situations at times, and just looking for a little bit more consistency, maybe this new coaching hire will help out with that.
Well, and the biggest thing to me is the coaching staff is not – Brett Vegan is not standing pat. He's not happy, so he's going to find the way to basically propel us forward. That's what he's trying to do. It's obvious. You know, he's working toward the goal of a national championship, and that starts with your personnel and your coaching staff.
Yeah. And he's always looking to make everything better.
Yeah.
Like you're never satisfied with being good enough.
Yeah.
Always wanting to be better, and that's always what you want to see out of these guys.
You're always one step away from being Cal Poly.
Yeah. I mean, it is one of those things with football and with these programs. If you're not moving forward, if you're stagnant, you're moving back.
Exactly.
Because people are passing you.
Yep.
So you have to keep on it. You have to keep your foot on the gas. You cannot let up for a second, and that is not going to help any team if you just stick with the same old all the time.
Yeah. And, yeah, so basically another what I think is a fantastic hire. I think that they hit this one, absolute beautiful shot here.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's been an interesting last couple weeks. Lot more awards coming out. Huh?
Oh yeah,
a lot more.
Yep, we're seeing some of the All-American picks coming out, and 2 of our major dudes are on that list.
Yeah.
2 of the dudes that we've really enjoyed watching this year. Marcus Ware, freshman,
No,
All-American.
That's not right. That says D-line, 6'2", freshman.
Oh yeah, it is wrong.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I was getting the 2 linemen mixed up. That's my bad. But Marcus Ware got an All-American nod, which, outside of being an All-American comedian in the locker room, apparently he's also getting those honors, which he very much deserves, and love to see that going on.
Yeah.
Also a Billings guy like myself. So, you know, love to see that. And then also Brendan Hall. And did you know Brendan Hall is 6'9"?
Now that you mention that, I might have heard that once.
Yeah. But the man that can drop the football on a dime at the half-yard line from pretty much it feels like anywhere on the field, yeah, I think that guy deserves an All-American nod.
Oh, 100%. He was the best punter in the FCS this year.
And I think he was close to being the best punter in the country.
I mean, when you're
He was up there ranked with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, very, very, very much deserved awards there.
Yeah.
Big time. I couldn't be happier for those guys. They deserve it, 100%.
Yeah. 2 big-time guys that we'd love to see doing it, and doing it big.
Oh, yeah.
We're just scrolling through some news about the Bobcats because it is getting increasingly more hard to keep talking about this, and we don't really want to talk about the national championship.
I mean, I feel like we have to.
I feel like we're gonna do that more next week because I think we're gonna have a Grizz fan on with us who is going to Frisco, and I think we're gonna do more in-depth coverage of that game next week. So I don't know how much time we need to spend on it right now. Do we have any betting updates?
Yeah,
what you're looking for?
If you're interested, South Dakota State has dropped to -10.5.
-10.5. So the line is moving towards Missoula.
I mean, the South Dakota State is still heavily favored, but if you were confident, if you thought South Dakota State's going to win by 2 touchdowns, which I think is extremely realistic, you can get positive odds on that. -13.5 is +115.
Do you think we might see this line sneak into the single digits?
I mean, I just have this feel. I mean, you know how Grizz fans are. I mean, when things are good, they're really good.
Yeah.
I mean, they I don't feel like Grizz fans are respecting South Dakota State for what they are.
And that's something we're seeing online too. On social media, there is a lot of talking going on by Grizz fans.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And there's a lot of memes and everything being posted, and I I almost think some fans are taking this too lightly.
I mean, here's the crazy thing is, they're going to graduate a fair amount of guys, but honestly, there's guys that are they're returning. They are not going to transfer. Yep. They flat out said it. They've helped build this. Mm-hmm. They want to stick around for it. Yep. I mean, I feel like, with this transfer portal deal being open, and there was a lot of rumors surrounding North Dakota State.
Yep.
About some of their players getting some major money offers, and it looks like almost every one of them staying.
Yeah.
They're going to return pretty much all of their studs.
We need to see if we can take a page out of this playbook that NDSU and SDSU is using. Like I want to figure out what they're saying in these meetings, what they're saying in the locker room that makes these guys want to stay so badly.
Yeah.
Because if we have people complaining about the weather in Bozeman, the weather in North Dakota and South Dakota is the same.
Yeah.
If not worse.
Yeah, I mean it can get pretty nasty out there, and you got to tip your hats to I don't know what their collective is called or anything like that, but they seem to be making enough to get these guys interested, giving them a real reason to overlook other things.
Yeah, and like all the Bobcat Collective stuff, it's been kind of interesting to see how this is actually going to pan out.
Yeah.
Because the videos that the players are posting are kind of funny, honestly, sometimes. Because they're like, they seem kind of canned, and it's kind of weird at times. But they're also very, very funny in some ways. And it's this competition. And I believe the last time I saw the Golden Triangle, where we currently reside, was ranked number 2.
God bless the Golden Triangle.
Yeah, the Golden Triangle holding it down. We also got a large piece of the pie there. Let's see if I can find exactly what that was.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where you're talking about like how big of an area it is.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty big, but you got to think the population of that area is not anything spectacular. I mean, we're sitting in a town right now of what, 350?
350, maybe 400 on a good day.
Yeah.
400 on a good day.
400 on a baby boom year.
Yeah. No, on a baby boom year, it goes from 350 to 353. Yeah. That's what we're talking about over here in the Golden Triangle.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's and kudos to everybody who's getting the player, giving them a darn good reason to stick around, and I hope that we can get on that page with them. Honestly,
yeah,
it'd be a really big deal.
Yeah, it's just big for keeping the players around. The more we can support them through these means, and we are looking to bring players on if they want some exposure or anything. Yeah. It is a minimal amount of exposure that we offer here at the Cats Pod, but we also offer a great time.
Yeah,
a great time.
To what we lack in exposure, we make up in personality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great personalities over here.
Oh, amazing personalities. As of December 20th, Yellowstone was ranked number 1, Golden Triangle number 2, Southeast was 3, Missouri River was 4, Glacier County was 5, and Southwest was 6. Southwest is struggling. Like that, we're talking about Golden Triangle not being a very populated area, but Missouri River and Southeast are pretty small areas. So it's kind of big that Missouri River's 4 and Southeast is 3. Yeah, there's got to be. I think that Southeast part, that's a lot of Melstone love.
Yeah,
that's a lot of Melstone love.
Yeah, and surrounding areas. There's a lot of guys that know that that fat family and everything.
They know the Greebies for sure.
Golden Triangle. Got the kid from Sunburst. Unfortunately, he's not playing, but we still have him.
Yeah. He still counts towards our fan base, right?
Yeah.
It definitely, when Trade and Pickering went over there, it helped out our lives so much.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I would like to personally thank Trade and Pickering. Hopefully I'll see him. We do play against Sunburst. My team plays against Sunburst next Saturday. So maybe we'll have a Trade and Pickering sighting when we go over to Sunburst. And I'll have to let him know. I'll have to thank him for adding some more Cat fans to the area.
Exactly.
So that we don't feel so alone anymore.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, we do live in a very grizzly dominated area.
Yeah,
we're
there are quite a
trying.
few.
We're trying our best to change that.
Every day, grassroots campaign, boots on the ground. We are trying to get people to convert over.
Yeah.
I think we should get a couple like white shirts. We need to get like white short sleeve button up shirts, black pants, and just have like a Cat's Pod name tag. And we should go door to door as missionaries. We go door to door as missionaries and just say, "Have you heard the good word about bread vegan?" We would like to let you know.
I like that idea. That is a good idea.
You know? Anything that gets me to dress up in like a funny costume and then go walk around outside is like funny to me. I don't know why.
We probably get a lot of doors slammed in our face, but hey, if it helps, it helps.
If I get one person to laugh, it's like reach one, teach one. If I get one person to laugh, then I'm going to consider it a day well spent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
We'll have to figure out some area that we can go to.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's an exciting time to be a Bobcat. I have as much excitement about this team going into another season as I did this last team. And with the commits we got on signing day and the transfers that are coming in and will be coming in and seeing all the offers that have been extended to people, I'm pretty excited, man. I mean, it's going to be a good year.
This is going to be a big year for the Bobcats, I feel like. And it's a year where we might actually get to come into a season almost underrated.
Yeah.
Not quite underrated, but almost underrated. I think that a lot of teams in the Big Sky are not going to be overlooking the Bobcats, but I think a lot of people are going to be coming at us.
Oh, yeah.
Like your Eastern Washingtons, your people that were sitting around that mid-tier, that was kind of all bundled up throughout the year. Because you had the top three, you had Idaho, you had the Bobcats, and you had the Grizzlies. And there was a solid chunk of 5 to 6 teams that were just scrapping with each other to try and get into that top three. And all of those teams are very hungry.
Oh, yeah.
And all of those teams lost a lot of players, but we don't know how the transfer portal is going to pan out for them.
Nobody lost players like Idaho, though.
Nobody.
Idaho, I mean, how do you rebuild that?
They personally got vandalized.
It was horrible.
Like I think a Viking horde came in of their own fans, and they had problems.
It was, I mean, honestly, everyone who was good is either going to a different college or declaring for the NFL draft. And kudos. I mean, they earned it. But holy cow, did they lose some guys? I mean, that's a tough one.
Have we had anybody declare for the NFL draft yet?
No.
Anybody we're on Draft Watch? No.
I mean, I think we have some guys who are going to probably get on
rosters at some point.
I mean, we'll see about the draft, but I mean, honestly, I mean, you look at some of the guys that we graduated, the Derek Snells and the Trayton Pickerings of the world. I mean, we didn't watch a lot of the Vikings game because I was getting a little irritated with it, but we were watching the Tucker Kraft from South Dakota State. I mean, total stud.
Oh, yeah.
Trayton Pickering's just as good as him. So is Derek Snell. So
it all just comes down to what they want to do with this next step in their life.
Yeah, exactly.
Like how are they looking to spend their lives?
Yeah. And I feel like, especially on this week when the Seahawks signed not only, I mean, Ty Okada has been in a few games this year.
Yep.
But they also brought up Pat O'Connell from Missoula.
That's awesome.
It is, yeah. We
Love
had
to see another one of our guys out there
on the Seahawks
with my
guys.
my team, the Seattle Seahawks. You know, they're bringing in the dudes.
I mean, it is a fact that you can play in the NFL from Montana State University.
Yeah,
it is a fact.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think Troy Anderson, as well as some other players before that,
I mean, look at Alex Singleton.
Alex Singleton, people like that. They definitely put Montana State on the radar of scouting crews for the NFL.
Yeah.
And that's going to help those kids out immensely when they are trying to make those rosters. If you have that in with a certain player, because I have to think that some of the reason that these guys for the Seahawks are getting signed is because of who they had playing at tight end for so long with Will Disley.
Yeah.
You know, and he wasn't a guy that played for the Cats, but he's a Montana guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Bozeman guy.
So
Yeah.
that puts guys on the radar. They realize how much talent can come out of Montana, and hopefully those players get their opportunities if that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, no, I think that there is going to be quite a few that get a shot. I mean, it seems like the last few years there have been. I mean, you see Lance McCutcheon, you see Daniel Hardy, you see gosh darn it, the lineman that went to the Saints and then went to the Colts. Yeah, but you know what I mean.
In trouble with the name too.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
we see these guys may not get drafted, but they're getting the opportunity, and like Ty Okada, he's getting on the field.
Yep,
he's getting to play. So, I think it's going to be. I think next year is going to be so much fun. I really do.
Yeah.
I really think it's going to be an incredible time next year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of opportunities, and I'm just excited to watch some football. I'm looking for the first time to buy some season tickets.
Yeah.
Because I've always gone to a lot of Cat games, but from where we live, it is quite a bit of a jaunt.
Yeah.
To get there every single weekend that there is a game.
Yeah.
But I've never been more excited. Definitely looking to get those season tickets as soon as I possibly can, and just be there with all the people. Because the environment that happens in that stadium is amazing.
It is.
You know, it is so fun to be involved in.
Yeah. The more butts you can get in those seats, the better it is. And in all honesty, you think about how full that stadium is getting now.
Yep.
And how many people are interested in the Cats. Because you and I both remember the days when that stadium was not filling up very much.
Yeah.
We both remember that. It
wasn't
not
that
great.
long ago.
No.
You know?
And I mean, especially the season ticket cost it's pretty reasonable, really.
Yep.
And running down there for a good time, I mean, how can you say no?
Yeah. When you look at the prices you have to pay on things like StubHub and different apps such as that, you're spending at least $70 a ticket.
Yeah, so and you definitely don't want to get stuck with standing room. Like, you want that guarantee of at least a seat.
Mm-hmm.
Get a seat. At least you have it.
Yeah.
You can get down there, watch what we are fully expecting to be an incredible season.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And that's a major thank you to the university for making those prices reasonable.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
Reasonable enough to where you can get a season ticket and you don't have to be rolling in the dough.
And now all we need is to enclose that stadium.
Yeah.
Let's get that end zone filled in with seats.
Yeah.
Because I think we could fill it.
Oh, yeah.
I am so sick of hearing about the mecca of college football. The Washington Grizzly Stadium is the mecca of college football.
Which is so sad.
It's so obnoxious.
It's such an overstatement in every way, shape, and form. Because if I was going to point to a mecca of college football, it's going to be one of those giant stadiums in the South.
How about Death Valley?
Death Valley, for sure. That's a huge one. Even I would consider the Rose Bowl.
Oh, the Rose Bowl?
The Rose Bowl is really the mecca of college football.
Michigan,
a lot of the greatest games ever have
Ohio
been played
State.
there.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can go on and on all day long about. I mean, I went to Iowa State. I went to a football game at Iowa State. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
I've been to a football game in Missoula. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, I.
But it doesn't even compare to It doesn't even compare.
Yeah.
I mean, you start talking about SEC, Big 12, Big 10 football. I mean, it's a big, big, big deal.
Yep.
And honestly, Missoula is not even close. I mean,
No, it doesn't even compare, and it's just people being annoying.
it is. And
They got to be annoying. It's all their bunny talk and their little brother talk, and it's the same 5 jokes over and over and over and over again.
I feel like everybody already knows it, but Bozeman is also a better town. I mean, it has changed a lot since I went to school there, but
Yeah.
it is a better town to be in. And that's a simple fact. I mean,
Yeah.
everything is right there downtown.
If you can afford it, it's a great place.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
That's the only thing that gets you. There is a door fee on joining the Bozeman community.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. But
that price tag comes with some real nice amenities.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
some real nice places to eat.
oh man,
Some real nice places to drink.
we went to we were down there for Christmas visiting my mom and dad, and so we took my son to the Museum of the Rockies. That was a blast. He had a fantastic time. He's addicted to dinosaurs anyways, so great
That
time
is a
there.
great place to go.
And then
for
we
sure.
went to Sidewinders afterward, and I've always heard about it, but never actually made it there.
Yep.
And oh man, that place was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Sidewinders was really good.
I've
I'm not
never
gonna
been
lie.
there. I'll have to make the trip next time I'm
it's
over in
definitely
Bozeman.
worth it. I've heard
Yeah.
that it is super popular and kind of hard to get into, but it was definitely worth it.
Oh yeah.
It was very good. I was impressed.
Also, shout out to Taco Dollar because we ate at Ribbon Chop House last night.
Yeah.
New one opened in Great Falls. Absolutely delicious. Great atmosphere. Weird bald manager.
Yeah.
Weird bald manager was the only thing. If we could get Taco, if you're listening, Taco, I know you are because you follow us on Instagram. So I'm sure you're listening. If you could talk to the Great Falls location and let them know that their manager is really weird and awkward, that would really help us out a lot.
Yeah, dude. He basically just stood over us the whole time.
Yeah, he stood like 2 feet away from our table, didn't say a word to us, and just stared at the other staff.
He didn't even say hi.
Yeah, he was just like a vulture staring down at everybody that was working for him, and I was like, "What is this dude's deal?" Yeah. I thought he was standing there trying to start a fight with somebody. It's like when you see a dude staring across the bar at another dude because he's talking to his girlfriend. That was the look he was giving a steak.
I mean,
That's how he looked at a steak.
Did you ever see a smile come across his face?
Oh no,
I didn't either.
no, not a frown either though. It was a stone cold glare.
You got to tell a story about the girls going.
Oh,
You got to tell.
so we get to the Ribbon Chop House. I want to preface this with it was an amazing meal.
It was.
You know,
It
it was
was
an
super good.
amazing
It
meal.
was
They
super
did
good.
this, and these are funny stories. This isn't us like
Yeah.
taking down the business. But the girls go to the bathroom right away, and they walk in the door, and there is a poor waitress in there who is currently cleaning up vomit off the floor. And mind you, we had an 8 o'clock reservation. 8 o'clock at night. I don't know. It must not have been that somebody was drunk at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be. It
I
is
don't
Great
know.
Falls.
Yeah.
But the fact that you walk in there and there's just somebody that puked all over this like really classy, nice restaurant's bathroom floor really lets you know I'm still in Montana, baby.
Yeah. they walk in there and the waitress just looks up at him and says, "I wouldn't come in here. Somebody just threw up, and I'm super hungover."
I'm way too hungover to deal with this today. And as somebody who's worked in a lot of different food service places, I was like, I get that. I get that.
But no, it was great, man. I sure enjoyed that restaurant.
Oh, it was great.
Great ambiance. You know, the location is really nice in Great Falls when you consider Great Falls it is Great Falls.
Yeah.
And the food was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
No doubt.
Definitely lived up to it. I want to say a better meal than I had at any other location. So I mean, it holds up as far as all the locations go.
I would agree. I mean, it's definitely fancier than any of the other ribbon shops I've ever been to.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've been to the Bozeman, Billings. I went to the one of them in Wyoming. I can't remember where. I think it was in Cheyenne. But I went to the one in Miles City before it closed. But it was, I mean, way fancier than any of those.
Yep.
So if you're looking to go there, and get that tablecloth put down, have the waiter write his name upside down or whatever, this is not the place for you. It is definitely a step above.
But if you want to take the old lady out for a very, very nice evening, it is pricey, but it is well worth the cost.
And the cocktails
Absolutely.
are delicious.
Yeah, the cocktails were also good. It was amazing. This is the Cats Pod where you come for us to talk about the Bobcats, and you stay for our reviews of Ribbon Chop House.
I will say, my one critique.
Out of the other ones that we've already brought up. My fourth critique.
All right. Add it onto my list. it would be better if they served Hereford beef. Just saying it.
Oh yeah,
Just
they did.
saying.
It did say Black Angus burgers, and Eric was just completely triggered from moment one. We sat down. He opens the menu. He goes, Black Angus beef.
I'm just going to throw this out here.
I can't deal with this. I can't do it.
I'm just going to throw it out there, man. You sit down. You come up to Valier. I'll cook you one of our steaks from our ranch that we've raised ourselves and all that good stuff, and put it up against any steak out of any other breed.
Yep.
Blind taste test Hereford to win it every time.
I'm just saying we are stacking ourselves up with work for 2024 because we're gonna have Brawling with History. We're gonna have our Bobcat missionary work. We're now starting the Cat's Pod tasting room.
Yeah.
Where you cook people steaks, which is is gonna be delicious because I've had many of those steaks. He is not lying. He is not lying about this. But you get to add all of those things to the list of all of. I guess we're just writing our New Year's resolutions for the podcast right now. Yeah.
I will say one thing about the Rib and Chop House that I actually did really like is, so it's in the old Wells Fargo building, right?
Yep.
And they left the safe door in there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. That was pretty cool. You just have a giant safe as you're walking in.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
I enjoyed that.
Oh yeah. And now that we've gotten all our hot takes about the Rib and Chop House out, and the only thing hotter than the takes are the hot plates.
Yeah.
which they only tell you about 17 different times how hot the plates are, which somebody's probably going to burn themselves, and they do need to be forewarned.
Yes. I mean, they actually bring the plates out at 400 degrees. I mean, I mean, that's just when everybody orders their steak a specific way.
It was like sick brag, bro.
And then it comes out still cooking. It's still on the barbecue.
The reheat. The reheat on that steak is nice. Let me tell you what is nice. Okay. But thank you, Taco Dollar, for the recommendation.
Yeah, sorry we just spent 20 minutes destroying the Rib and Chop House. We actually really did enjoy ourselves, truthfully.
This is the problem I have with my entire life, because I feel like people think that I hate everything, but it's just because I have to critique everything, and it's becoming a really bad part of my personality, because I can love something 90%, but I'm going to talk about that 10% a whole lot more. And it is a highly toxic trait that I have.
It's not your fault that the 10% is just really funny. Okay?
It's not funny to talk about everything that's good about a place. You can't make fun of that.
Yeah, I mean, good is just good. How many times can we tell you it was good? It's the funny things that happen that, are usually probably not good, like our creepy manager that stared at us the whole time. But
the only thing creepier than that manager was our studio, which hopefully we're going to start bringing video into this soon, so you can see how creepy this basement room is.
Hey,
this wood-paneled, cement-floored room that we use to record these podcasts.
We would not sound this good if we didn't have a concrete floor.
Exactly, and these wood panel walls, they absorb a lot of sound.
Yeah.
They are sound deadening.
It's really good.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
And now that I think we've exhausted all of everything we could talk about the Bobcats and also about Rib and Chop House, I think that is where we're going to end this episode. You all right with that, Eric?
Yeah, and I think next week we are going to hammer on some national championship football.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot to talk about. We're going to do some
big stuff there. Going to bring on a Grizz fan so that we don't have to say good things about the Grizzlies. Yeah. We'll let them do that talking, and then we can just play like we're SDSU fans for 1 week.
Oh, we are.
Oh, yeah.
SDSU fans for 1 week. There's no if about it.
Shout out to Chase Juleson, the only SDSU fan that I know. And I'm pretty sure still the only one that actually exists.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory, SDSU does not have fans. They have robots.
Yeah. No, birds aren't real.
They definitely aren't. Don't get me started on that now. Okay, it's too late. Well, thank you to all the PawdCats out there. Thank you guys for continuing to listen week after week. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating wherever you're listening to this. And also, if you could follow us on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you can find us, go ahead and follow us. Stalk us if you want to. We're not going to press charges. We don't press charges, okay? In the Golden Triangle, we don't do that.
We actually like stalkers here.
Yeah, we love stalkers, That just means we have another person in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, bud, I've never seen you before. It's like, how much meth is that? Oh, that's not too much meth. You know? This guy's a fun addict. You know?
Yeah.
All right. Hope you guys have a great New Year's. Happy New Year's to everybody. Let's hope that 2024 is the year of the Bobcats and the year of the Cats pod.
It is the year of the Bobcats and the year of the Cats pod. And go Jacks.
Go Jacks.